Sorry, rush there. Thank you. Thank you, Ms Acting Speaker. I am pleased to contribute to this bill, the Country of Origin labelling of seafood bill, and in particular having represent the seat of Whitsunday, where we have, I think everyone in this House would agree, fabulous seafood that is caught locally, that is promoted locally, and in which many of my constituents and those that catch that seafood would love it to be promoted and labelled locally. So I'm very pleased to contribute and to support the objective of this bill, which is the mandatory country of origin labelling seafood sold across dining outlets. We already do this unofficially in the Whitsundays, whether you are eating at Fish Divine, one of my local seafood extravaganza restaurants, or whether you are at Fishy in the Whitsundays takeaway, or more recently, whether you are eating award-winning seafood from Debbie's Seafood. And I will take this opportunity, because they do label their seafood, and in particular they do highlight what is caught locally, because they too are commercial fishermen who have been in the industry for such a long time. And I was very pleased to see Mark and Debbie, Craig and Natalie on the stage taking out the Seafood Industry of Australia's 2022 Australian Seafood Business of the Year for the Australia's Large Seafood Business. So congratulations to them, who in the past have won the Best Small Business of the Year in 2015 and before that 2013. And Best Large Seafood Business in 2017. They are locals, long-term, of the Mackay region. They support our commercial fishing industry, but most importantly, they've expanded into retail, and they know the value and the opportunity of promoting local seafood and ensuring that it's labelled. And similarly, Madam Acting Speaker, Peyton Oysters, who across my Cape Hillsborough community, Seaforth, the beautiful coastline, the Hibiscus coastline in the Whitsunday electorate, where they harvest oysters, they also label locally and are proud to promote the provenance, which is the Whitsunday region. What is disappointing, though, while the LNP brought this to the last election, in the lead-up to the last election, and as I campaigned to become the member for Whitsunday, was proud to promote the LNP's policy around seafood labelling and the opportunity for us to buy local, to promote local, and to be proud of that in the lead-up to the state election campaign. While this bill, and we recognise the support of the Katter Party in our policy as well, it is disappointing to see those opposite not embrace what is such an opportunity to support our local seafood industry. And when I read on World Mental Health Day, Madam Acting Speaker, a press release from the Queensland seafood industry that highlights, and I quote, "Our fishing families, our onshore workers from seafood stores and processing factories are emotionally barely treading water as it is. The continued onslaught coming from the Palaszczuk government is the boot holding their heads under the water. Our industry's men and women are fast running out of breath." And when we see such a bill before the House, a proactive approach to seafood labelling, to promoting what is an outstanding commercial industry in Queensland, that would be a win not just for commercial fishermen, but a win for consumers in Queensland and those who visit our great state, in particular in the Whitsunday region. When people come to our region and they want fresh, local-caught Spanish mackerel, Madam Acting Speaker, but they don't know where they're purchasing their seafood from, because those opposite have chosen not to support this bill. Those opposite have used excuses like it would be an administrative cost burden. That doesn't seem to bother those opposite when it comes to other administrative cost burdens to other policies across this state. When I see, Madam Acting Speaker, that the Northern Territory framework has taken the lead. In fact, it was some years ago, I think, the Northern Territory did put a stake in the ground and said, we are going to support our fishermen, whether they be rec fishermen, commercial fishermen. We're going to promote the NT, and they already have that advantage well ahead of Queensland. That is a lost opportunity for this state government to support the very sector that right now, as quoted by the Queensland Seafood Industry Association, is under enormous stress. And some of that stress has been caused by the minister, Madam Acting Speaker, the minister who stood in this House and said this was a great concept, he'd be pleased to support it, and I can almost quote him, but I'll choose not to tonight. But what he did say is it was a great concept, but there's other ways we can support the commercial fishing industry. Well, the recent change to the Spanish mackerel catch conditions certainly isn't supporting the commercial fishing industry. Not in my area of Mackay, not in the Whitsundays, and certainly not in far north Queensland in Cairns and Townsville, where I've met with commercial fishermen. And the stress that this government is placing on an industry that contributes so significantly, not just to our local economy, but multiple generations. People like the Drapers in my community, who have for 50-plus years operated commercial fishing operations, and in particular in Spanish mackerel, who are out there every single day, where they were not engaged. They were not engaged by this government when it came to the Spanish mackerel industry, when it came to seafood labelling, when it came to what the opportunities are for their industry for growth. Instead, no, this government decided to consult in a way, Madam Acting Speaker, that required commercial fishermen to sign commercial in confidence arrangements so they couldn't actually disclose or engage with their own industry partners. And so what is disappointing is that we have a minister who claims to be a farmer's friend, but in fact is no friend of the fishermen of this state in Queensland. No friend. Madam Acting Speaker, I am pleased in the electorate of the Whitsundays is the tassel porn
Order,
farm.
members.
When we talk about aquaculture, the opportunity for aquaculture, the opportunity to have both, to have live catch and also to have aquaculture expand in our region. The tassel prawn farm is proud. It will be the largest prawn farm in Australia. Its expansion at Bloomsbury will be incredible for the economic benefit and job creation in the Whitsundays. But, Madam Acting Speaker, they will be proud to label their seafood even though it's farmed here in Queensland. They'll be proud to label it farmed Queensland aquaculture. When they market it overseas, they understand the competitive advantage of marketing, of branding, of promoting what is Australian, what is Queensland grown. But this government lacks the foresight to take any leadership role in promoting what is our incredible seafood industry, whether that be aquaculture, whether that be oysters, whether that be prawns that are caught off Hay Point. This government is out of touch when it comes to promoting, supporting provenance, aquaculture, commercial fishermen, recreational fishermen for that matter. And we certainly saw that through the lack of engagement and consultation in the recent Spanish mackerel decision. Madam Acting Speaker, I am very proud of those that not just sell but supply seafood across the electorate in the Whitsundays, whether it's the Carachulos in Mackay or whether it is Matt and Bron at Fishy in Airlie Beach. We have incredible retailers, wholesalers, commercial fishing operators, pro fishermen, rec fishermen, and they know that an LNP, the LNP team, will back commercial fishing, we will back recreational fishing, we will back it every day of the week. And I'm pleased to support this bill, not just as a proud Queenslander, but as someone that represents a region that grows, sells, promotes some of the best seafood in Queensland.
Deputy Speaker.